I'm sure you've already heard a lot of psychologists online and people way more qualified than me talk about how bad social anxiety is, how it's holding you back, coming with a bunch of studies and research showing you how to escape this. Lots of quick tips, the three most effective steps to escaping social anxiety, but nothing seems to work for you. Now, my hope with this video is that I will be able to guide you, because I'm not here to tell you what to do with your life. That's completely your choice. But hopefully I'll be able to guide you towards an interesting introspection that will hopefully get you to that moment of, wow, I was really wrong. If you're into fitness, you would probably listen to an online guide that's absolutely shredded, explaining how you can do the perfect bicep curl form. But that's a very different scenario than what we actually have, because your bicep curl form is not attached to your self-worth, but the way you behave actually is. Because look, logically I should be able to come here and tell you, watch a video of me talking to people and then just imitate me, right? Like do exactly what I do. But it's not that simple, because we have mental barriers here. We have complicated processes that we need to overcome first. It's not just watch and repeat. Because if it was like that, like you would already have escaped this. What you have to do is get to that moment of realization. Get to that moment where you are just like, wow, I really don't suck. Get proof that you don't suck, because I could literally tell you for hours that you don't suck, come up with a bunch of research, a bunch of reasons why you are better than you think you are, but that's just pep talk. Like what needs to happen is for you to get that realization for yourself, because that's why this online advice doesn't really work, because it's just people talking about general stuff. But this general information and research and ways and tactics, tricks, hacks, they don't work because you don't get the grasp of them, you don't feel them as you should. And this is why it's only you are the only person who can make that realization, and you are the only person that has the power to change. If Jordan Peterson can't make a podcast that will change you, we can only guide, everyone can only guide you towards making the change yourself. The interesting introspection question I was talking about is, what's the event that needs to happen so that you will start believing that you are valuable socially, that you are worthy? What's the event, the proof that needs to happen so that you will escape the social anxiety state? Take some time and introspect on that. And then just reverse engineer your way to that event. And really, don't be unrealistic with it. You might say that I want to dance with Biden on a festival, but like, keep it realistic, okay? There is some event, if you think about it, that would make you, that would just break your limiting beliefs. Thing is, we are judging everything through our lens. Our lens are very biased, and for some people like us, they are detrimentally biased because we diminish ourselves. And then for other people, they are way too reinforcing. They become way too confident, more confident than they actually should be. And I'm reading this book called Think Again by Adam Grant at the moment. I'm halfway through it. It's a very interesting book, and it outlines how important it is to have an open mind and to actually be willing to absorb information and opinions from everyone, and essentially approach situations with curiosity rather than your own bias. Like the most intelligent people are willing to absorb information from everywhere, not being attached to their own opinions and prejudices. But the issue is that naturally we are all attached to our own opinions until we start acknowledging that that's not a good thing, that we have to work on it. And unfortunately, with the social anxiety case, it's just the same issue, because you have that bias, and everyone experiencing social anxiety has the bias and the detrimental limiting belief that they suck socially, right? That they have an issue, that they are not good enough. And when you have that bias, it's very hard for you to accept new inputs. Although you are insecure in the way you behave and in yourself overall, You are very secure in your detrimental limiting beliefs. Like, why is that the case? You hold on so tight to those beliefs. Like, maybe they're not even real. You have to get the proof. Going back to these specialists online talking about how to escape social anxiety and all that stuff, I really believe there is power in this. I really believe this is a very useful thing we could employ in our lives, but I also believe that you already do that. And again, I also believe that you already found some excuses and some ways why you are the exception, why these tactics don't work for you. But realize that it's all your lens, your biased lens. The exact framework I followed to escape my state of anxiety back in the day was this. Like, I allowed these people online to brainwash me into believing that I am worthy and valuable, because that's so important. Because before the brainwash, like normally right now for you, I assume, you believe you are not worthy. And if you believe you are not worthy, it's gonna be very hard for you to actually go ahead and take action. And action is needed for you to get the proof, for you to get that moment of, wow, I'm better than I thought. This detrimental limiting belief needs to be broken. That's the only way, because you have to update your self-image before actually going on and making the progress and taking the action. Now, after you allow people to brainwash you into believing you are worthy, you go ahead and take action. You get that moment of, wow, I don't suck, I'm better than I thought. And then you just keep taking action, and it's a snowball effect. And eventually, after enough time, you end up updating your self-image completely. And then you can just forget about all the brainwashing and return to your more authentic way of being, let's say. But the initial brainwashing is mandatory. Because, like, think about it. If you are not brainwashed, if you have that detrimental limiting belief that you are not worthy, you will take the action. And the way you will interpret the result of those interactions, is through your biased lens. The expectation effect, again, like, you will just find a way to mold your mind into getting an output that you are not good enough. Even if that conversation was like 98% wonderful and only 2% bad, you will just give attention to those 2%, and the snowball effect will roll against you. So to wrap this all up, your initial brainwashing is completely needed, because if you don't go through that process, you will not be able to take the action, you will not be willing to take the action, and your identity needs to be updated first. But really, after finishing this video, go ahead, take some time and think about this, if you are willing to take action, of course. If you don't want to take action, if you just want to binge watch videos, fair enough. It's your life, you take the decisions. But if not, really take some time to think about this. What needs to happen in order for me to have faith in myself, to believe that I am worthy? If you want to hear more from me, I have a Calendly link so you can book a meeting, and I will just listen to your life story, and I will hopefully give you some useful advice for free.